Welcome to a journey through the annals of time as we delve into one of the most monumental chapters of human history, World War I. World War I, also known as the Great War, shook the foundations of the world and left an indelible mark on human history. Lasting from 1914 to 1918, it was a conflict unlike any seen before, involving millions of soldiers from countries across the globe. The war was characterized by trench warfare, where soldiers lived and fought in squalid conditions, enduring constant shelling and unimaginable hardships. But World War I was not just a static conflict in the trenches. It was a war of innovation and technological advancement. From the introduction of tanks and airplanes to the use of chemical weapons like mustard gas, both sides pushed the boundaries of warfare in their quest for victory. World War I, an international conflict that in 1914 to 18 embroiled most of the nations of Europe along with Russia, the United States, the Middle East, and other regions. The war pitted the Central Powers, mainly Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey, against the Allies, mainly France, Great Britain, Russia, Italy, Japan, and, from 1917, the United States. World War I was one of the great watersheds of 20th-century geopolitical history. It led to the fall of four great imperial dynasties, resulted in the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and, in its destabilization of European society, laid the groundwork for World War II. Tensions had been brewing throughout Europe, especially in the troubled Balkan region of Southeast Europe, for years before World War I actually broke out. Political instability, especially in Bosnia, Serbia, and Herzegovina, threatened the fragile alliances that had been established among European powers, the Ottoman Empire, and Russia. The spark that ignited World War I was struck in Sarajevo, Bosnia, where Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was shot to death along with his wife, Sophie, by the Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip on June 28, 1914. Austria-Hungary hesitated to declare war on Serbia due to concerns about potential Russian intervention, which could escalate the conflict to involve Russia's ally, France, and possibly Great Britain. Seeking reassurance, Austrian leaders awaited confirmation from German Kaiser Wilhelm II that Germany would support their cause. On July 5, Kaiser Wilhelm privately assured Austria-Hungary of Germany's backing, providing them with a blank check guarantee. With this assurance in hand, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia containing excessively harsh terms, making it nearly impossible for Serbia to accept. Perceiving Austria-Hungary's preparations for war, the Serbian government instructed its army to mobilize and sought assistance from Russia. On July 28, Austria-Hungary officially declared war on Serbia, shattering the fragile peace among Europe's major powers. In a matter of days, Russia, Belgium, France, Great Britain, and Serbia formed a coalition against Austria-Hungary and Germany, marking the commencement of World War I. Following an aggressive military strategy called the Schlieffen Plan, devised by German Field Marshal Alfred von Schlieffen, Germany initiated World War I by engaging on two fronts. In the west, they invaded France through neutral Belgium, while confronting Russia in the east. On August 4, 1914, German forces breached the Belgian border. In the war's initial battle, they launched an assault on the heavily fortified city of Liege, employing formidable siege cannons. By August 15, the Germans had seized control of Liege, leaving a trail of devastation and casualties as they advanced through Belgium towards France. In the First Battle of the Marne, fought from September 6 to 9, 1914, French and British forces confronted the invading German army, which had by then penetrated deep into northeastern France, within 30 miles of Paris. The Allied troops checked the German advance and mounted a successful counterattack, driving the Germans back to the north of the Aisne River. The defeat meant the end of German plans for a quick victory in France. Both sides dug into trenches, and the Western Front was the setting for a hellish war of attrition that would last more than 3 years. During World War I's Eastern Front, Russian forces initiated invasions into German-held territories of East Prussia and Poland. However, their advance was halted by German and Austrian forces at the Battle of Tannenberg in late August 1914. Despite this setback, Russia's offensive compelled Germany to divert two corps from the Western Front to bolster its defenses in the east, a move that contributed to the German defeat in the Battle of the Marne. Coupled with the resolute Allied resistance in France, Russia's swift mobilization in the east prolonged the conflict, thwarting Germany's ambitions for a quick victory as outlined in the Schlieffen Plan. Between 1914 and 1916, Russia's army mounted several offensives on World War I's Eastern Front but was unable to break through German lines. Defeat on the battlefield, combined with economic instability and the scarcity of food and other essentials, led to mounting discontent among the bulk of Russia's population, especially the poverty-stricken workers and peasants. This increased hostility was directed toward the imperial regime of Tsar Nicholas II and his unpopular German-born wife, Alexandra. Russia's simmering instability exploded in the Russian Revolution of 1917, spearheaded by Vladimir Lenin and the Bolsheviks, which ended Tsarist rule and brought a halt to Russian participation in World War I. Russia reached an armistice with the Central Powers in early December 1917, freeing German troops to face the remaining Allies on the Western Front. Italy entered World War I in 1915, abandoning its alliance with Germany and Austria-Hungary to join the Allies. Motivated by territorial ambitions and promises of territorial gains from the Allies, Italy's entry shifted the balance of power in Europe and added another front to the conflict. Italy's military performance during the war was mixed, with both successes and setbacks. The war had profound consequences for Italian society and politics, contributing to social unrest and economic hardship. At the outbreak of fighting in 1914, the United States remained on the sidelines of World War I, adopting the policy of neutrality favored by President Woodrow Wilson while continuing to engage in commerce and shipping with European countries on both sides of the conflict. However, maintaining neutrality became increasingly challenging due to Germany's aggressive submarine tactics, which targeted neutral ships, including those carrying civilians. In 1915, Germany declared the waters surrounding the British Isles a war zone, leading to the sinking of several commercial and passenger vessels by German U-boats, some of which were American ships. The sinking of the British ocean liner Lusitania by a German U-boat in May 1915, while en route from New York to Liverpool with numerous American passengers, sparked widespread outrage and protest across the United States. This event helped turn the tide of American public opinion against Germany. Subsequently, in February 1917, Congress approved a $250 million arms appropriations bill aimed at preparing the United States for potential involvement in the war. Germany sunk 4 more U.S. merchant ships the following month, and on April 2 Woodrow Wilson appeared before Congress and called for a declaration of war against Germany. The Second Battle of Ypres, fought in 1915 on the Western Front of World War I, saw the German Empire's first large-scale use of poison gas, causing chaos among Allied forces. Despite initial shock, Allied troops, notably Canadian forces, rallied to defend against German assaults. The battle was characterized by brutal trench warfare, heavy casualties, and shifting front lines, ultimately resulting in neither side achieving a decisive victory. The battle highlighted the horrors of modern warfare, the resilience of soldiers, and the deadly effectiveness of new weapons like poison gas. The Battle of Jutland, fought in 1916, was the largest naval engagement of World War I between the British Royal Navy's Grand Fleet and the Imperial German Navy's High Seas Fleet. It took place in the North Sea near Denmark's Jutland Peninsula. Both sides aimed to gain naval supremacy and control of sea lanes. The battle involved intense gunnery duels and resulted in heavy losses for both fleets, but no decisive victory. Although the British fleet retained control of the seas, the battle highlighted the importance of air power and the need for improved tactics in naval warfare. The Battle of Verdun, fought from February to December 1916, was a grueling and protracted struggle between the German and French armies near Verdun-sur-Meuse, France. It was part of Germany's strategy to bleed France dry by capturing the strategically important fortress of Verdun. The battle devolved into a brutal stalemate, characterized by relentless artillery bombardments, trench warfare, and staggering casualties on both sides. Despite heavy losses, the French under General Philippe Pétain successfully defended Verdun, preventing a German breakthrough. The battle had a profound impact on both armies, draining their resources and manpower. Though it did not result in a clear victory, Verdun symbolized the horrors. The Ottoman Empire's involvement in World War I saw the empire initially maintaining neutrality but later joining the Central Powers. Led by Sultan Mehmed V, the empire sought to regain lost territories and assert power in the region. The Ottomans entered the war by attacking Russian ports in the Black Sea and declaring a jihad against the Allies. Military campaigns, including the successful defense at Gallipoli, strained the empire's resources. Internal divisions, economic challenges, and the Armenian genocide further weakened the Ottoman Empire. The war ultimately led to the empire's collapse, marked by the signing of the Armistice of Mudros in 1918 and the subsequent Treaty of Sèvres, which partitioned Ottoman territories and shaped the modern Middle East. The Second Battle of the Marne, launched by German forces on July 15, 1918, marked the last major German offensive of World War I. Despite initial gains, the Allies, bolstered by reinforcements from the United States, successfully repelled the German attack and launched a counteroffensive. This decisive victory shifted the momentum of the war in favor of the Allies, forcing Germany to abandon further offensives and ultimately leading to their defeat. By the fall of 1918, the Central Powers were unraveling on all fronts. Austria-Hungary, destabilized by internal nationalist movements among its diverse populace, agreed to an armistice on November 4. Germany, confronted with diminishing resources on the battlefield, domestic discontent, and the capitulation of its allies, was ultimately compelled to pursue an armistice on November 11, 1918, bringing an end to World War I. World War I catalyzed significant social changes and technological advancements, earning its reputation as the First Modern War. It witnessed a transformative shift as millions of women entered the workforce to replace men serving in the military, a trend that reshaped societal norms and gender roles. Additionally, the war inadvertently facilitated the spread of the Spanish flu epidemic of 1918, resulting in a catastrophic loss of life worldwide. Technologically, World War I saw the widespread adoption of innovations like machine guns, tanks, aerial combat, and radio communications, revolutionizing the nature of warfare. However, the devastating impact of chemical weapons, notably mustard gas and phosgene, led to widespread condemnation and calls for their prohibition due to their horrific effects on both soldiers and civilians. World War I took the lives of more than 9 million soldiers, 21 million more were wounded. Civilian casualties numbered close to 10 million. The two nations most affected were Germany and France, each of which sent some 80% of their male populations between the ages of 15 and 49 into battle. The political disruption surrounding World War I also contributed to the fall of four venerable imperial dynasties: Germany, Austria-Hungary, Russia, and Turkey. World War I changed the world in profound ways, shaping the course of the 20th century and leaving an indelible mark on history. Thank you for watching Past Perspectives.